Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. I've been looking at my coffee ringed envelopes and I thought, let's make a journal with these and let's see if we can simplify the process. So my envelope is approximately 6.5 by 4 3/4, and I have coffee dyed it. I want to use this right here to be my front, just like this. So with that said, I would like to bring in my paragraph stamp. I bring it out of my drawer here, and I've got my Stays On, and this happens to be my saddle brown, and the color is saddle brown. And I'm going to stamp here and there, just like that. And then I'm going to do a little stamping on this portion. I'm not having any rhyme or reason. All right, so now it looks like that. I think I'd like a little bit more right here. Yeah, like that. Now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to do a little stamping. This is what's going to be the back. Now, there are so many versions of envelope journals out there. I'm sure this has been done somewhere. Nothing new here, but they're so much fun, and you can do so many things to them. Now, what I'd like to do with this one is I would like to put a pocket on the back of this one. It's just a little piece of ephemera, and I have inked it up a little bit, and I used the Victorian velvet, and I also used the frayed burlap. Those are the two colors that I used, and I am going to grab my little sponge for the Victorian velvet, and I'm just going to ink this up just a little bit, just to give it that kiss of pink on here, just here and there. There we go. Now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side, just a kiss of pink. All right, now I'm going to attach this pocket. Now it just covered up my coffee ring. I just realized that it just covered up my coffee ring. I think I'm going to have to come up with something else because I don't want my coffee ring covered up. So let me look right here. How about if we fussy cut this out right here? I think these digitals came from a Trace of Sparkle years and years and years ago. I think. You know, I've been cleaning out my studio and going through lots of things, and I'm coming across things that I've printed out that I've never used, and this happens to be one of them. And I'm pretty sure it's a Trace of Sparkle, but a lot of them had already been fussy cut. So I don't know if I was planning on using them and then something else happened. How about if we just pop this on for our decoration? I'm going to change up my idea because I just realized that ring is right down there and I don't want to cover that up. How about some coffee dyed gauze? And let's just pop it on here, and maybe a little bow. I'm not sure. I don't think I want a button. I'm not sure I want any more flowers or even a butterfly, but I do think that this is pretty cute. We can have something like that on the back. Let's see, maybe. So we're just kind of making a little cluster. Let's go ahead and let's get this glued down and continue on our project here. So I've got my art glitter glue, a little bit of art glitter glue, a little bit of glue just down the side to hold my coffee dyed gauze. And then let's put our little cookies right here. And I do think I want to pop that bow on there, but I'm actually going to hold off on that. All right, so it's really pretty because we left our beautiful coffee ring. Let's concentrate on the front. Now, the front, I have taken a little piece of digital from the same kit, and because I found it as a pack. And I would like to glue this on the front, maybe something like this. And this is basically going to be my cover for my little journal. I'm going to add my glue right here onto my flap of my envelope. And I'm going to place this right here, just like that. Just lining this up just to kind of see if I can get it halfway straight. And then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to make sure I've got enough glue under here. Getting that glued down. I did cover the tracing paper on the back and sewed with my machine. Okay, so now this is our cover of our little envelope, and then we have our back, which is really sweet. I like that. Now for our pages, what I have done is I have taken a index card, and I took my index card and I folded it over. So I just folded this part over. Oh, I don't know how far, maybe a ½ inch. And then I measured to see the distance to be, for my signature to be covered by this piece of ephemera. And it became this size, which mine happens to be 4 inches by 5 inches. So that's approximately what this little piece is right here. And so this is my hinge, and I covered it with a digital from Roxy's Creation. Then I made some pages that would fit inside like this. And that's another Roxy Creation. And I just made it so the center of the signature was pretty. So I've got, how many pages do I have in here? Not counting what I'm going to say the cover is. There's 1, 2, 3. So there's 6 pages. I do like to use my little trick about making a strip of scratch paper, the width and the length, I'm sorry, of the signature about 2 inches, and then folding it in half the long way, and then folding it again and creasing it, and one more time and creasing it well. And when you open it up, you mark where the folds intersect, and that's where you're going to place your awl and make your holes for your signature to be sewn in. So I've got mine already marked, and I'm not going to sew it in anything except for itself. Okay, so I have my awl and I have my little piece of packing paper, and straight up and down, hole straight up and down, hold your awl straight up and down is what I'm saying. There we go. So we've got that. Now you're going to remove your little sheet here, but I always keep one of my paper clips in place. Now I'm just putting my stuff away because my desk is a fright. Some of that specialty trim that I have in my Etsy shop, this is one of the pieces, and it's eyelash yarn. I'm going to sew it, my signature, with the eyelash yarn. So I'm going in the center, and then I'm going to go in one of the other holes, does not matter which one, and then the other all the way over to the other side, and then back through the center again. There we are. Now you want to make sure that you are on either side of that center thread. I'm going to take it off of my needle, and I'm going to give it a nice tie. So I'm using eyelash yarn, or thread. It's almost like thread. It's not really yarn. And I just think that that's something fun and different, very different. So I'm going to trim and leave a little bit to hang down. Let's bring our envelope back in. And also want to make my altered paper clip. So I've got a file folder scrap from the other project we made. I think it was yesterday. And I'm going to glue this together. Now, because we're doing a video and I need this to be dry and not wait for it, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. I have a Sure Bonder high temp with a specialty tip, and I'm going to add my hot glue right like that, and I'm going to give it a press down. So we're altering a paper clip. It's not a hidden paper clip, but it's going to be altered. And I have some more of the, let's see here, some more of this coffee dyed. I keep forgetting what this goofy stuff's called. I used to not like it a lot, but I started using it again because I found it when I was cleaning up. And so then I thought, oh, come on, Cathy, you're going to have to start using some of this stuff. And I had already coffee dyed it, so that's what I'm doing. And maybe a little bow. I don't know if we want to put a button on it, make it extremely simple, maybe something like that. So I'm going to put my bow kind of crooked, and I'm going to put my button, which I've already put some thread in the holes of the button, and I left the thread long. Now I'm holding this down just so the glue goes through the holes of the button, and then it sets up and it really holds it well. So I think that's pretty cute. That's a pretty cute little altered paper clip. Let's put that aside because we're going to need it. We've got our signature made, and we made it separately. And we're going to open this up. So now this is that piece that you pull off because it's a sticky piece. I've also got another piece of Roxy's Creation. It's just a scrap. That's a digital of hers. And I'll pull off the sticky piece. And I really don't want the bunny on it, so I'm going to turn it sideways like this. And I think I'm going to stick it down into my envelope. So sometimes it's hard for me to get it done, stick it down in that envelope if I put the glue on, but this time I'm going to try it. I'm going to put the glue on it. So let's see if I can get it in there. Push it in. There we go. I'm not going to push it very far because I really like that little design right there. And then that grabbed a hold because it was sticky, and it was still sticky. So now I think I'm going to just cut it off right here. So I'm going to fold it back on itself like this. And then I'm going to give it a little trim. So I'm going to bring in my larger scissors. Well, not those are my ribbon scissors. How about these? I'm just going to give that a little cut. Okay, so far so good. Now, how does it look over here? Yeah, I'm going to have to clean that up just a little bit, but it doesn't look like that will be very difficult. I want to make sure that that gets glued down. This is the sides of the flap of the envelope, and I'm gluing it onto that piece that we just added just to cover up that sticky part of the envelope. So give it a little cut here, a little trim it up. And here, just a little bit of trim up. There we go. Alrighty. So now we look like this. Let's go ahead and let's bring in our piece that we made. Remember we put a flap on it? Well, I want to glue that flap onto the flap of the envelope. So this is the base of the envelope. This is the flap of the envelope. I'm going to glue this onto where it's folded right here. I'm going to glue it so that this will still close, and then it will close like this, and so you don't really see it until you open it up, and then it will be just like this. And I think that's really sweet. Yeah, I think I can use my art glitter glue. I'm just wondering if it will hold well enough while we continue with this, because we're going to do a little bit of decorating on the side. So let's get this on here. Now you want to make sure that this still folds, that you can still fold it. You don't want to put it so close that you cannot fold this part of the envelope back on itself. Oh, how cute is that, right? And then you open it up and it's like this. Now we can add a little bit more decoration here. I've got some sari silk. Let's do some of that scritching. We haven't scritched in a long time. A very long time. Or we could just lay it flat. I think a little bit of scritching. Now I'm going to use my hot glue gun to do this, but you can use whatever glue that you have that you like to glue fabric down with. I'm using the hot glue gun for this because we're doing a video and I need it to be dry after we finish making our little, they're like little pleats. They're super cute. And I just think it needed a little something right there for the transition of the two different papers. Plus it adds interest inside our little envelope journal with our little signature. And just trimming that part off. Now let's see, what else can we add? I wonder, we have these. No, let's don't add those. Those were the pieces that went with those cookies we put in the back. How about if we do maybe, we could do a label, we could do butterfly, we could do a bow. I'm not sure I want the bow. I'm not sure I want the butterfly either. I want something though. Oh, I've got some lace. Put a little bit of lace. Look, that looks like it's the same lace almost. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, I'm not feeling it yet. That's not quite what I want. But what I do want to do is right here. I want to add a little something right here. And I think maybe a little bit of lace on the front. Now here's where that paper clip is going to help us. I'm hoping it will hold this closed. Oh, and it does. Isn't that cute? That's super cute. Let's add a little bit of this lace. Maybe right here. There's a right and a wrong. And let's just glue it right down, right here. Okay. And right here I thought that we could add a little bit of this. I'm not sure, is that what I want? Because I thought of this before I made this. And I thought, well, that would be cute if we put a little bit of this here. I'm also thinking some buttons down the side. And let's just see how this is going to look, because I'm not sure yet. It was an idea that I had. Oh, I think that does look cute. Do I want anything else on here? I never put, or I've not put, that's cute on there, like that. Okay, I'm going to add that there. Buttons with flat back pearls. If I use buttons, then I use buttons. I don't really mix the two. It's not something that I do, but I am going to add this gauze right here. So I'm going to see about just kind of popping it on. It always has a mind of its own. Like it sticks to everything. But once it's dry, I really like it. But it's the fact of getting the stuff down where you want it and then getting it to stay. So let's put our first little button maybe about right here. And then how about if we put another button right here? And then our third button, let's put it right here. Oh, I do think that I need another light in here, don't I? That is really cute. And then there's the back, and I do think maybe a little bow right there would be really cute. You guys, I hope you've enjoyed this style of envelope journal, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you, oh, it's dark, in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.